For almost 80 years, doctors refused to treat men with low testosterone because of one single study. And that single study was conducted in 1941. A single study from 1941 with a total of 2 patients. No, I'm not making this up. There were 2 patients in the entire study. And from that study, it was concluded that TRT causes prostate cancer. So for 80 years, the medical community swore up and down that testosterone plus prostate equals cancer. And that misinformation kept millions of men from optimizing their health, increasing their longevity, and improving their quality of life. So how does something this ridiculous even happen? Well, to answer that, we got to rewind to 1941. There's a doctor named Charles Huggins. He publishes a paper. And in that paper, he claims that testosterone feeds prostate cancer. And even though his entire study consisted of only 2 patients, his conclusion somehow found its way into every medical textbook published from that point forward. And if that's not bad enough, it was also taught in every medical school across the entire country. And the carnage from that irresponsible publication caused a decade of men with low testosterone to be denied treatment. Not because of actual evidence, not because of decades of data collection and analysis, but because of one doctor, 2 patients, and the absence of anyone willing to question the science. So let's fast forward. 40 years later, it's now the late 1980s, and there's this Harvard-educated doctor, Abraham Morgentaler. He starts treating men who have low testosterone. And year after year, patient after patient, his research shows a host of benefits, but no increased risk of prostate issues whatsoever. In fact, get this, his research overwhelmingly concluded that it was actually men with low testosterone who were more likely to have prostate cancer. So the entire original study from 1941 was proven to be ass-backward almost 50 years later. And this is a perfect example of how the general consensus in the medical community isn't always derived from factual data. Oftentimes, it's just accepted because that's the way it's always been. And that's what happened to Abraham's study. As thorough and conclusive as it was ignored by the medical community for 30 more years. So let's fast forward again to December 2025, when the FDA assembles a panel of experts. Now, this isn't some fringe group of techs. This is a team of highly respected medical professionals. And what did they find? They all agreed that the warning label linking testosterone to prostate cancer should never have happened in the first place. They concluded it was never supported by facts and it needed to be removed. But they didn't stop there. They also unanimously concluded that having testosterone labeled as a controlled substance is unwarranted. And the end result was a collective agreement that the bureaucracy that comes with putting a medication into that classification of controlled substance has prevented and continues to prevent countless numbers of men from improving their quality of life. And it was about fucking time. But I guess better late than never. So if we've learned anything from this catastrophe, it's that science needs to be questioned constantly. Trial studies, they need to be verified. And conclusions, they need to be periodically reevaluated. Because if your doctor's telling you testosterone therapy is dangerous, that it causes cancer, that you're somehow taking a risk by balancing your hormones, then he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Because getting old is inevitable. But feeling like garbage at 45 because your doctor still believes in an 80-year-old lie, that's a choice.